When we hear the word cue, we might immediately think of hints in games, signals in sports, or stage directions in theatre. But in reality, cues are everywhere. They are the subtle patterns, symbols, and signals that guide how we perceive and act in the world. Today, I deconstruct the idea of cues from non-video game perspective, drawing from philosophy, sociology, and anthropology and psychology. Let's begin with philosophy. Thinkers like Edmund Husserl and Martin Heidegger explored how humans don't simply receive raw sensory data, we interpret it. A raised eyebrow is not just muscle movement. To us, it cues suspicion. A smile cues warmth and safety. Cues are therefore not passive. They shape how we engage with reality. From a philosophical perspective, cues remind us that humans are meaning makers, always translating signs into action. Now, sociology shows us that cues are also shared across society. For example, clothing functions as a cue. A formal suit cues professionalism and authority, while casual clothes might cue relaxation or friendliness. Even silence in a conversation can act as a cue, signaling discomfort, respect, or disagreement depending on the context. In this way, cues reduce friction in social life by creating a shared language of signals without us ever needing to explain them directly. Anthropology takes this further by reminding us that cues are never universal. They are shaped by culture. A color, a gesture, or even a sound may mean completely different things across societies. For instance, the color white may cue purity in Western traditions, but in parts of East Asia, it cues mourning and death. What might be a respectful hand gesture in one culture could be seen as offensive in another. Cues are therefore culture codes that guide behavior and identity within specific groups. And finally, psychology shows us how deeply cues are tied to human learning and survival. When a child touches a hot surface, the burn becomes a powerful cue. Avoid it next time. When we hear a loud bang, our body instantly cues us into fight or flight. These learned responses keep us alive. Beyond survival, cues also shape habits. For example, the smell of coffee can cue alertness, or the sound of a notification can cue us to check our phones. Cues, in this sense, structure our daily routines and behaviors. So, when we deconstruct cues beyond video games, we find they are fundamental to being human. Philosophy shows us that cues give meaning to experience. Sociology shows us that cues guide social interaction. Anthropology shows us that cues are cultural and symbolic. Psychology shows us that cues train us to learn and adapt. Before a designer can create meaningful cues in a game or product, they must first understand that players already navigate life itself through a web of cues. Designing with cues, then, is ultimately designing with human perception and meaning in mind.